Hello, how are you? How are you? I am so happy to be here with you, sharing these thoughts that I have for you. What do you think of this garden? Isn't it beautiful? You see the flowers, they are a universal symbol of love and beauty. Flowers have been a source of inspiration for so many, for poets, for mystics, for people like me, yes. Well, today, I'd like you to think of flowers not only as a symbol of beauty, but as a representation of yourself. Each one of us has a seed inside. And I like comparing things to nature. That's the way I am. It's the capacity that you have inside of you, of that seed, to be able to bear amazing fruits. Today, I'd like to help each one of you to find the essence of that seed that you have. Your seed has everything that you need in order to become the wonderful fruit that you were meant to be, or the wonderful flower that you were meant to be. The fragrance and the wonderful colors that each one of you have. For years now, I have been listening to people with problems. As an educator, as a psychologist, as a counselor, and now, as years that I have been in the radio, that's all I do every day, listen to problems. I receive thousands of calls a day, people that have problems with their spouses, with their children, with themselves, with their jobs. One of my favorite writers, Scott Peck, starts his famous book, The Road Less Traveled, with a simple line: life is difficult. Okay? You are not in Alice in Wonderland. Life is difficult. And the sooner you learn that, the sooner you accept that in your life, you will become a better person. As a mother, as a daughter, as a wife. One of the worst moments in my life was when I had to make a decision of a divorce in my life. After 28 years. Immediately after that, I started falling down and breaking bones. Hey, is there a similarity here? What's happening? 28 years with one person. This is something that I know. This is my base. And my legs start breaking down. I looked up and I said, what do you want from me, God? Speak clearly, because I don't understand what you want from me. And I said, show me the way. I need to find the way. I knew that at that time, I had to look inward. I didn't have anything out. It had to be here. The life that I knew, my past, was gone. My future, I did not know. So I realized that all I had was my present. And I embarked on an internal search to find answers. And when I became deeply aware of my reality, I started to feel I could take it one day at a time. There were times it was 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time. If I can handle with this moment, I can move. If I can handle the second moment, I can do it, even if it was from a wheelchair. If my voice shakes a little bit when I talk about this, it's because it's emotional to me. And I embrace my emotions. I have processed this. But I knew the importance of me sharing this with you. Telling you that there's hope, there's life after many other problems that you may have in life. It's when you embrace your present that you can overcome anything. You can overcome your fears. You can overcome your anxieties. You can overcome your doubts. I'd like to share with you a proverb, a Hindu proverb, comparing a human being with a house of 4 rooms. The proverb says you should never neglect any of those rooms. You have an apartment, and it has 4 rooms. One is the physical room. The second one may be your mental room. The third room, your emotional room, and the spiritual room. All of us need to visit those 4 rooms in order to deal with a balance in your lives. The mental, the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual. In this presentation, I would like to focus mainly in those 2 rooms, because those are the ones that we tend to neglect, the spiritual and emotional. And maybe that can help you understand the message that each one of you have inside. There is a story about a beggar, and I read this in one of the books that Eckhart Tolle wrote, The Power of Now. In it, there is a beggar on the side of the street, and he's sitting on an old trunk, and here comes a walker, one of the travelers, and says, "Can you give me some money?" He says, "I don't have anything for you." And then the beggar says, "Not even a penny, not even something for me?" He says, "No. But by the way, what do you have under you?" "Oh, this is an old trunk. I sit there. I've been sitting here for 30 years. So he said, "Well, why don't you open it?" And he said, "Okay." He opened it, and it was filled with gold. And here's this guy asking for money, and he is sitting on gold. I would love to have you understand that each one of you is sitting on a trunk like that. It's inside of you that you're going to find all those treasures. It's inside of you that you're going to find the answers to your life challenges. But you know what? You need to open that trunk. You need to go in. You need to be more aware of the inner world that you have inside of you. Don't think that turning inward is an easy thing to do. This journey is full with teachers. I call them tour guides that come into your life. But if you're too busy to pay attention, you don't learn anything. I have found tour guides everywhere. Everywhere. Even my gardener, he may be doing something in the garden. And I said, "Addie, what are you doing there?" He'll explain something to me. "Oh, that is like my seed in here. Maybe I need to do the same thing you're doing." We're constantly making decisions in our lives. Some are small decisions. Some are big ones. And each time we must ask ourselves, are these decisions in line with my objectives? Or are we running away from the real objective? And we're worrying about things that are not important at that moment in your life. We have the option to find our path, but we must make the decision to find it. And sometimes you're going to go the wrong path. "Oh, no, but that doesn't go with my objectives. I don't want to go to China. I want to go to New York." So go back. Let's take that journey together. A journey toward a happier, more fulfilled life. A life where you learn to face your obstacles and overcome them. A life where you can reach your potentials as a human beings. You remember the seed? That seed is about to go, but you gotta get there. You gotta know it. Where do we begin to find that seed of promise? That seed could be a flower, or it could be, I don't know, an orange, but it's your own fruit. Don't copy the other fruit. A mango tree next to an orange tree doesn't say, "I want to be like you." You're set with being an orange tree. But you see, when we go on a trip, we need to either have a map, but if we are very technologically inclined, you need a GPS. Huh? You have seen that every bird, I don't know if they have a GPS, but they have something close to it. I go to visit my son in Atlanta, and every spring, Canadian geese come down. And then the same way, when the heat starts, it goes up. And they go to the same place that they came from. Birds do that. The salmon does that, goes upstream, returns. Elephants know what happens to us. We also have a path to follow, but we're so distracted with our brains, with our intelligence, with our emotions, that we lose our way. We like to go everywhere. We don't follow our path. How do we do that? How do we light our way? Do you see that flame? That flame shows you the destination of your journey. It's the star that guides you. The flame is something that you were born with. It has a lot of passion inside of you. Where there's life and there's love. And we all arrive with that. That makes us all the same. Somehow, children are born into families where they give them a lot of love. And if you watch children, when they have received that love, they're always curious about everything. They have this awe about flowers. And it is in that manner that children really know their flame. The experiences that you have in your life is what makes you unique. When we experience love, our flame is stronger, isn't it? I know that some of you have experienced love, and that flame is really stronger. When children grow with love, they trust because they have had parents that have loved them. They know how to give love and to receive love. Those who don't grow up like that, and I worked with kids like that for a long period of time in the school system. And you could see it in their eyes that the flame was hardly being on. They had lost their innate innocence. They weren't clear about their thinking. They became kind of angry about everything. They lost their smile. Later, we'll talk about that, those experiences that are negative, that can cause problems in your life. Even if we have grown in a loving home, often as adults, we lose that curiosity. It's that ability to find wonder in everything in life. It doesn't have to be that way. Is that how you want to live? Albert Einstein said that there are only two ways to live your life. It's as though nothing is a miracle, or that everything is a miracle. We need to learn how to feed our flame. We need to find something better than the experiences we had. They do not identify us. They do not define us. We need to reconnect with that which gives us passion in life. It could be a new boyfriend or a new dog, I don't know. Some people tell me, oh, I am so lonely. Get a dog, get a cat, get something that you can love and love you back. We need to be more like children, to live life like it is a miracle. That way we embark on the path towards that personal transformation. We are all born with a mission in life. My mission is different than yours, and yours, and yours, or yours. Everybody has a different path. May not be one path. I myself have experienced so many missions in my life. And sometimes I am in awe as to how many things I have done in my life. But I always have done it with a passion. I had a friend, a surgeon, who once came to see me talk to some kids, delinquents, etc. And he came to see me to do this talk to them. And I was watching him, I felt proud that he was there, but at the end he said, oh, I love what you do. I want to have that passion in my life. And he said, but you are a very famous surgeon. I know that you're doing a lot of good. You're saving lives. Yeah. I said, what do you mean, yeah? Well, I did exactly what my parents wanted me to do. I'm a perfectionist. That's why I'm a great surgeon. I want that you do. I said, well, why don't you do it? Do it. And you know what? He did. And he became one of the best science teachers that I have ever met. And I used to be one, so I know. It's incredible how people do things for other reasons. Thank God my father said to me, you can accomplish whatever you want in life. That left the door open to anything. But he said that. In my own life, I have constantly changed, I evolved, I have done different things. I have taken this path, the other path, but it has been a journey of discovery. And I have had many obstacles in my life. We all have. But all I have seen in an obstacle is a possibility for me to learn something new. Of course, I didn't see it that way until I actually broke my legs. And you really have to think inward to actually say, well, thank you that this happened to me. It's very hard for me to say it still, but every once in a while, I see why it happened. When my marriage ended and my legs broke, in that moment that I told you, I turned inward and I asked for guidance. I actually said, what is my next step, even though I couldn't do any steps? What is it? It didn't go more than 24 hours when I got a phone call. And that phone call said, we want you in a national talk show. And I said, are you crazy? I have a pension coming. Why would I move away from what I know and take this risk on the radio? I opened myself to the possibilities. And I became so passionate about what I do because I knew that this is my passion, my mission, at least the one now. I don't know where I'm going to go in 3 or 4 days. You never know with me. Every day when I get up, he knows me, my heart skips a beat. Every day I say, well, okay, let's see what call am I going to get that is going to shake me today. Because when I started on the radio, I said, no, I had heard it all in the school system. I'm not going to hear anything new. Trust me, I have. I don't say that anymore. Every day, I'm so happy to be at work. I know I am in the right path. You know what my GPS tells me? You have arrived at the right destination. I would like you to find your own passion, your flame. What's your mission? What is your passion? Think about it. Find your flame, your light again. And how do you do it? Stay with me, and we'll find it together. Thank you.